Hello, and welcome everybody to yet another video. Today is a little bit different. It's gonna be a new series, Irithar, One Step Forward. Now, you might see here, that the name's a bit different than, say, Ramal. My Discord server, a Potato Makeover, actually has quite a few DMs in it. I just happen to be one of them. So my campaign that we are just now launching, Echoes of Ragnarok, is just now going live as one of the DMs. That's me. So you all might remember that Ramal is another series ran by my buddy Gray. So if you guys ever want to ask any questions, get help, or just sit in and listen, you guys are always welcome to join the Discord and, get a vibe for the place. It is pretty chaotic sometimes. I also would like to take this moment to ask you for likes and subscribes. We are still a small channel, and I don't want to get big or anything, but I definitely want to try to reach out to more people and just show them the beauty of D&D, show them the beauty of being a nerd, just have fun. Feel free to check out the links below, guys. Put in the comments what you guys think. And with that, further ado, enjoy this new series.
Welcome to the Potato Call. Family. Moving out now towards the more forested area of our kingdom of Aetherforge. This is more of the outskirts. People out here tend to live more modestly. The city itself being full of various inventions, automatons, these metallic constructs like warforges, some bigger, some smaller, serving different purposes. But out in the wilds, as we'll call them, of Aetherforge, people tend to just live among nature. They build their own houses out of wood and grow their own food rather than having it mass-produced in these factories. But out in these wilds, hunting and scavenging and taking care of yourself is seen as higher than being one of more intelligent and educated mind. Where hard work is put over schooling and seen as a greater feat of strength. Out in the woods, a little ways off, about half a mile away from Aetherforge itself, there is a little group of humanoid creatures that tend to just live amongst themselves, kind of secluded away from the rest of the village and away from the rest of the world. In that village, they have their own hierarchy, where they have a more chief-like person that they respect as an elder rather than just the queen. While they still abide by the queen's laws, they turn more towards this elder for their guidance and decision making on how they should behave. It is there that we find Mr. Azizi. If you would like to describe yourself for us as one of the people navigating life in said village.
What I look like, tall, pale skin, white hair, red eyes, but I usually hide those, ears, and I have a few tails, but my tails are usually hidden in the middle.
Fair enough.
What?
When he was describing his character, he never said his name. Which is fine. We'll get to it when we need to. You were fucking by yourself. Who cares?
Talking to Gek. I don't think you really need to be like,
Nick,
yes,
knows.
And that's what I look like. I would currently be out hunting. For some.
Give me a. Well, let's see. What do you know? What you are hunting?
Rabbit. More than, because I'd probably try to for my group overall.
Okay, so give me a survival check.
Survival check.
Yeah. Cool, nice little 12. We love that for you. You see that, like, these big, boar-esque, tracks, as you're kind of navigating through, and you can, like, almost feel these eyes on you as you're moving through, the grass, or, like, the grass and trees and foliage. Give me a perception check. Cool. Out of the corner of your eye, you barely in time catch the sight of this four-legged, very large, pig-like boar running at you, tusks out and pointed in your direction, but you are able to see it in time to move out of its path as it almost charges and gores into you. But now it is like staring you down as it slides to a halt and is huffing at you, taking a more aggressive stance rather than one of fleeing and fear.
Okay. I would pull out my sword, my scimitar, and not charge it, but wait for it to charge me.
Okay.
Because my goal is to sidestep it as it's charging and swing down on its neck.
Gotcha. So that's a 21 to hit as it runs back at you.
16.
Okay.
Wait, so you do all this just
You
to get
hit it.
Oh, I thought it hits
you take 5 damage as it runs towards you and into you, kind of nicking your leg with its tusk. You hit it for how much?
I didn't hit it.
Okay, so roll your to hit. Or that is your to hit, yeah?
That was. This was my.
Okay.
16 to hit.
I don't know why that was
He
like.
needs to ask.
Yeah, so you hit. So let's roll damage for your scimitar.
Okay.
You both trade
8.
blows.
Okay, so you slash across it, and it looks wounded, but it's still up and still alive. You're both now bleeding as it turns back to face you. It looks like you did a considerable amount of damage to it, but it's still up enough that it's holding gaze with you. So it is up to you on what you would like to do in this
Let
situation.
me see if I'm gonna get it into another stance and wait for it to charge at me.
You're gonna wait for it to charge you again?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're not gonna try to like climb a tree.
Charge it.
No, any of your
Sure.
ranger stuff.
Yeah, don't you have a bow?
If he wants to wait for it to charge him again, you can. Okay, this is going to be at disadvantage. I'm guessing a 12 does not hit.
And armor class 16. It doesn't.
Yeah, so it comes charging at you again. You're free to make your attack as its its tusk just swings at you, but this time you see it coming and are able to slide out of its path. 17 hits, roll damage.
10.
10, cool. This time tell me how you would kill this boar.
I would shove my sword through his neck.
Cool.
Severing
So
his
it
neck,
comes...
almost severing his head.
Gotcha. So it comes running at you again, its tusk swinging to the side, and as it turns its head to, missing you and its momentum catching it off guard, you stab into its throat and push down almost like a crowbar and feel the crack of its shoulder blade and neck separating from its body, and the boar falls down lifelessly. You now have a dead boar at your feet. Congratulations. The first death in the campaign.
Take a moment to rip off a pair of my piece of my shirt and wrap my leg until I get back.
Gotcha. Probably smart. We want you to get gangrene or anything. That'd be fucking bad.
Gangrene.
Yeah, I
Gangrene.
would hate for those twiggers to attack you.
Twigger. Oh,
Out of the corner of your eye, you
That's
see a
great.
bunch of arrows flying at you.
I would
They're a
start
bunch of twigs.
I would start preparing to carry the port back.
Gotcha. Okay. So, after a little bit of transporting this heavy dead animal back to camp, you're greeted by a tall, very noticeably older humanoid with similar features to your own. His arms are crossed, and he's just looking at you and shakes his head with like a little bit of a smirk. Says, so you actually killed it.
Of course, what do you expect?
What happened to your leg?
I didn't dodge in time on the first attack.
Raises an eyebrow and says, you let this boar hit you?
Not on purpose.
Well, I wouldn't assume it was on purpose. Go get yourself checked. Like, kind of motions towards this hut that's been woven and stitched together with various plant fibers and earthier components. Says, go get yourself checked. Apparently there's news from the capital, and they need all of us able bodies to go handle something. So go get yourself checked and then meet me at the war table. And you would know that there was a bigger kind of meant for meeting space building known as the war table. It's not an actual war table, it's just where people go to make big decisions. But you were able to go get yourself stitched up, healing back the little bit of damage that you took. And upon, I'm guessing you're going to go to the war table.
Yep.
Yeah, so upon entering the war table, you see a few men, some dressed in monastic robes, and one dressed in like a half armored, half robe kind of setup with a like scimitar that's similar to yours, but the hilt is a dark red wood. And they're all kind of conferring about these papers that are being apparently handed out. There's an older man that has like gray, for pun intended, whiskers coming out of its face that kind of droop down to the sides of its mouth. And he looks at all of you and says, well, it's come to my attention that the Queen fancies giving out a prize this year for completion of some event of hers. And while we don't usually entertain the ideas of Aetherforge, I believe that sending our young, able-bodied combatants to this event would serve suitable for our needs. We don't know what the prize is, but it's either going to be useful or worth a substantial amount to the right buyer, and that could help sustain our people for the time remaining that we have before Aetherforge encroaches on our lands and brings us into her fold. And then one of the that same man that like spoke up and like met you at the gate speaks up again. Says, well, I don't think that it's quite right for us to go in there unprepared for whatever it is that they're planning. It could be an ambush, it could be a trap. This could be just to draw us out. We have no idea. And sending all of our soldiers to go and handle this thing leaves the rest of you unprotected, and that's not smart. Say that we send maybe 3 of us to go handle this and flush out what it actually is. That way, if there are losses, they're not substantial. And a couple of the guys are like, yeah, that makes sense. We should do that instead. Doesn't make any fucking sense for us.
Yeah, fuck the queen!
Well, not that.
Sorry.
So the elder like puts his hand up. The elder puts his hand up, and the crowd kind of dies down. Says, "Okay, I will choose 3 individuals. Xander, you will go." And the man like kind of gives a hand over the heart militaristic salute. And bows his head, and then turns to a female that's in the room and says, Corinna, you will also join, and take the pup with you, and points towards you. Says, he needs the experience. And I'm sure after this morning's events, he's more than able. And the elders kind of like gives you like a knowing smile. And just there's a few guys that are like, whoa, we shouldn't do that, we should send somebody else. And the elder's like, no, I believe that the one thing that Aether Forge has correct is that our future lies with the minds of the young who are going to be brought up to lead one day. And that is not me, and that is not some of you. And he kind of raises his eyebrows looking at some of the more seasoned people in the room. Says, if he fails, well, there will be consequences. And if he succeeds, there will be consequences of the other variety. I think we should at least give him a chance. But it is ultimately his choice. And he extends a hand out to you. Says, youngling, if you would like to go to Aether Forge, see the city, endure this event the Queen is putting on, then it is your choice. And if you do not want to go, I will not force you. And you can kind of feel the eyes on you as some of these guys are like very much against this idea, but are not going to speak out against the elder. And there's a few, like Corinna, the woman that was mentioned, kind of like seems to be almost encouraging it. You would know her as one of the daughters of the like healer of the village. She tends to work more along the medical side, and so I like the thought process could be strung to that they're sending one of their strongest fighters and a strong healer along with you to go with this event, in the form of the man that is going Xander and the healer that is going Corinna. But Corinna seems to like be nudging her shoulders forward, like, go on, answer him, like just kind of letting you have the floor.
Wide-eyed and a bit surprised, I respond with, yes, I would be more than happy to go. I would love to see the city, because I haven't been outside of the area before.
Corinna gives like a few subtle claps, and a few of the guys are like, oh, and like roll their eyes. And he's like, calm down, it's been decided then. Xander, Corinna, you two escort the young pup to the city. Succeed through this event, as I know you will, and bring home whatever prize the Queen is offering, and we will do so graciously. Xander just kind of gives that same salute and gives like a bow of the head, but not the body. Says, I will do what I can. And Corinna just kind of smiles at you and Xander, and almost like jogging runs out of the like space and starts packing up gear to go. So the three of you mount up on a horse-drawn wagon with a really rickety-ass wheel that kind of is more meant for carrying supplies, not people. Like, this is a wagon that's been repaired about 3 times in the past week alone. But it's drawn by a really old mule that is kind of just trudging through while pulling you. Luckily, you and Corinna are not very heavy. Xander, on the other hand, is a big boy. So he's like at the front holding the reins, like kind of, come on, hurry up, like pressing on the mule, and it's not even changing speed. It's not going slower or faster. It's like, just kind of just fucking ignoring him as
he's
a
like
thing.
sticking it to him, like, no,
Yeah.
what to do.
It's stubborn as a mule.
Yeah.
Moving now towards our oceanic lady of our group. On the bow of a ship that has been storing cargo tucked in the underbelly of the ship itself, kind of stuffed behind some crates and boxes, very much probably should not be on this ship to begin with. the only source of light in this area, a faint glowing rock attached to a stick, is reading underneath the crate itself is our little sea elf. Miss Ness, would you like to describe your character or whatever?
Sure, I guess, if you insist. So in the dim light, the sea elf, she has black hair that goes, the black goes down to about her jawline, and the rest of her hair down, like just above her chest, is blue. She is wearing what she calls a cloak. It is a coat with the hood of a cloak. So essentially,
isn't that just a jacket?
It's a hoodie.
So this
Not a
coat
hoodie.
goes down to just past her hips. It is a deep purple, and the hood is like a cloak's hood. It looks really cool. So there.
Adidas.
She's wearing pretty basic clothing, maybe a little bit fancier than the common person, with some lace around the bodice.
Whoa.
Her
Like, whoa, man.
She has scales along her forehead and that go down below her eyes and cover her cheekbones. And then she also has scales down her chest and along her hands. That's the only spots that are visible. And she carries a handcrafted staff that is in the shape of a trident with a crystal in the in the center of the middle fork. And her eyes are glowing blue, and unlike normal elves, the sea elf has a pointed ear with the side of it is webbed. Her scales are blue, but her skin is white. She's 6'3".
She's a tall bitch.
Yeah, she's pretty tall. And she's essentially got the body of a swimmer. Yeah, she's about as tall as Esther.
Yeah, you're pretty tall. Who's Esther?
I don't know.
Who the fuck is Esther?
Some bitch.
I don't even know her.
Sounds like
Some
some
whiny
Karen.
baby.
bitch.
Yeah, some bitch who
Some
keeps
bitch.
crying all the fucking time.
With the most annoying family members, too.
Hey,
Oh yeah, she and she's reading.
Your next motherfucker. Don't start.
She's reading a book about. She's reading a romance book. Because why not?
Oh my
How
god.
scandalous.
So this ship is on its way to the northern side of Aether Forge from Tidebreak itself. Before you left, it was pretty well known that there was an event going on, and having never really left the confines of Tidebreak or its previous home, you and a few other people were kind of shoved onto this ship, not necessarily of your own volition, but more as this is how we operate, this is what's happening, deal with it kind of situation.
Pirates.
Basically.
I like you're about to say shut up.
No, I was gonna say something like that, but nah, that's basically what they fucking are. It's just they're basically pirates. As
German
you're
pirates.
kind of stuffed in this ship space, you feel the rocking of the waves, and then you hear a large and the boat come to a sudden halt. but it's still like rocking from the speed that it was coming in, and it's now docked somewhere. A few of the people that you also recognize to be sea elves of various sizes, talents, shapes, colors, sexes, get up and start moving about the space immediately, as if preparing to like leave.
Well, since I probably didn't get on the ship legally,
Very much not.
she is going to, I guess, try to sneak off the ship.
Be a stealth check.
Ooh, 18.
As you are moving through this space, describe to me how you're trying to keep yourself quiet.
Sorry.
Or just being stealthy, not necessarily having to be quiet, but just how you're trying to stealth about this.
She will be looking over the crates, very briefly, because, you know, her eyes glow. And watching out for people coming and going. And, once she spots a, are there any, like, there aren't any, like, windows down here, right?
There are not windows, but there are places that the cannons can slide out, that you can like pull open to look through. So they're kind of like windows, but they're more meant for like the cannons to stick through them when there's combat going on.
Right. Well, that's my backup plan. Anyway, she'll be kind of tiptoeing around the crates and kind of peek up, peek through one of the cannon holes, to kind of gauge when possibly most people are off, or I don't know, just looking around.
So when you look through this cannon hole, the first thing you notice is that you are docked at an actual like dock itself. It's not like you're docked on the side of a beach or like you're in port. It is a very busy space. There are like dozens of people coming on and off the boat, carrying crates of supplies and of various things. There's cloth, there's food, there's some tools like pickaxes and swords, and there's a few shields and pieces of armor that are tucked into these crates. Some of the people look like sea elves, some are just like a mix of just random races. There's some humans, there's some dwarves, there's halflings, there's elves. It's very busy. You are intelligent enough to know that you'd be able to blend in fairly easily if you play it right. You stick out in the sense of your clothing and your tools, but if you are able to find other ways to get out of this without being noticed, people are not looking for you. So there's not someone that's just standing there like playing security. It's everyone's doing their job and minding their own business, and it just seems very like all over the place and chaotic. It would not be hard to slip out of here, especially with a high 18 roll.
Okay, so I have a question. Can I minor illusion myself in more casual clothing, like stuff that they would be wearing?
Can minor illusion change your clothing? So if you create a sound, create an image of an object such as a chair, muddy footprints, or small chest. Can't be more than 5 foot cube. Can't create sound. So with you wearing robes, a 5 foot cube would not cover all of your clothing. And it says physical interaction with the object image reveals it to be an illusion. So with you touching it would immediately set off to everyone else that it's an illusion, which would probably be more of a head turner than if you were just to walk out.
Okay. I'm gonna quietly search around in the crates for something to possibly change into.
I mean, an investigation check.
Okay. 19.
Cool. You find a crate full of clothing that some of it is covered in blood, is the first thing you notice.
Yep.
There are not any signs of like anything dying down in the bottom of the ship. It looks surprisingly clean for how like stuffed full of shit it is. But there are like bloody rags in this first crate that you open, and it seems like it's still wet. So in another crate, you kind of crack it open, and as it opens, there's almost like this steam that kind of seeps out of it, like a hiss. Almost as if you were to like crack open a soda can and like the air comes out. It's the same kind of feeling. This cold, crisp air jets out. And inside you find a set of like, not robes, but more privateer style clothing that is very nicely folded inside of this box, with little golden embellishments on them to like decorate and accent the uniform. And beside it you find a like dagger that is, the blade looks silver, and it has like engravings written into it that are more symbolic than they are words.
I feel like the uniform might also stick out a little bit, but I'll take the dagger.
Okay.
That might be useful to me.
Okay.
Obviously, I have no problem with that.
Yeah, obviously. You take the dagger, and I'm guessing you close the crate back?
Yeah.
Cool. So it seems to almost like seal back down as you push it closed. But you are still in this kind of darkened space, now holding a kind of cold to the touch metallic dagger.
So was there anything else aside from the really obviously bloody clothes and really obviously decorated uniform?
There are a few more crates of just kind of loose cloth. There's not really an outfit, so to speak, but there are like loose shirts and loose pants that can be put together to like fashion an outfit. It's just not gonna be as nicely put together as your current robes.
I will use my weaver's tools to make a robe out of the cloth. So something to cover me from head. So basically like a giant cloak.
Give me a performance check. Yep.
Oh, come on.
So it'd be 7.
7.
Yeah. You finish the robe. It looks pretty nice. It more resembles a like patchwork like robe where it has like the squares of just stitched on fabric on top of it. It's not like a solid piece of like finely stitched clothing. It's very much looks rugged and more run down. There's a few holes that weren't stitched properly, so it hikes up in a few areas. Like on your arm, it may be a little tighter than you wanted it. But it's good enough that it's gonna keep you decent.
All right. Okay. She will wear it and try to leave the ship.
It's come to my attention that this is the end of the video. Well, if that is the